Good evening, everybody. It is October 24th, and it is how about I unmute myself? Our Good Vibe Tribe webinar. I just muted myself as I started. Welcome to all of you guys that are brand new coaches. Congratulations on making such an awesome decision to join the Good Vibe Tribe, to get started as a coach. You've seriously made the best decision on earth. So the best way for you to get started if you're brand new is to start by taking your Beachbody Challenge. So even before you get your Shakeology and everything in the mail, just go ahead and hop onto All Access, play around with some of the workouts, talk to your coach about which program you feel would be the best for you from start to back, and just get started. Complete your first 30 action plan under the training tab on your coach online office and go through the welcome email that your coach sent you. So you can write these steps down if you're listening in. Get on a GSR call with your coach. That's a getting started right call, and then start the quick start trainings that are in our team website. Our team website is self-paced training, and we have maybe 6 or 7 videos that are just super easy to watch, and they give you all the basis for the foundation of your business. Step 4 is to hit Success Club, either 6 or higher. That's just by finding your first 3 challengers or your coaches. It's going to help you get into Success Club, which is our recognition program. So make it your non-negotiable to do that every single month so that you become a success starter. And we're going to talk about success starters tonight. The vital behaviors of coaching are 1, to invite, 2, to be a product of the product, 3 is personal development, and 4 is recognition. So just making sure you're doing all those daily. And the 5th thing you want to do is advance your business. So we do a 10-day coach training at the top of every month, but you certainly do not need to wait for coach training to advance your business. It's as simple as asking your spouse, significant other, or a relative to become one of your coaches and help you launch your business, and then a friend to also become a coach and take the challenge with you and help you open up your business as well. So a big shout out to those of you that are already on the Good Vibe Tribe Success Club board this month. We've got about a week left to get on the board. So those at Success Club 10 or higher, at 20, Moira Casaba, Courtney Burton, and myself. At 16, Aaron Hopkins, Susan Doyle, and Jolie McLeod. At 14, Randy Coppola, Lauren Maniscalco. At 12, Bethany Brodigam. At 10, Danielle Porter, Aaron Kirkpatrick, Courtney Brady, Mark Maniscalco, Lauren, Hannah Roberts, and Angela Fox. Those of you that are at Success Club 5 or higher, Jasmine Jonty at 8. Also at 8 is Kristen Zalesnik, who you'll hear from tonight. Jenna McLaurin, Barbara Schertz, Carly Jo Smith, Megan Siebel, who I know just achieved 10 today, Margaret Schwenke, and at 6, Megan Holmes, Carrie Crowther, Jacqueline Skinner, Bethany Bubenzer, Jennifer Hines, Heather Guthrie, Christy Whitaker, Amanda Boyson, Michelle Harris, Jessie Maher, Susanna Dottie, Heather Swear, and Kylene Dillon. And then those of you that are almost there, you just need one more customer this month. Jacqueline Hughes, Mary Christine, Barbara Ferry, Jody Hill, Sarah Ellen Lackey, Maggie Marlowe, Norm Van Beelen, Lori Siebold, Allison Odom, Miles Hopkins, Nisa Brown, Denise Guyan, Cece Davis, Christy Campbell, Richard Roberts, Katie Ashley, who you'll also hear from tonight, Braden Burton, and Jennifer Hillebrand. Congratulations, you guys. So if you're new to the team, Success Club is our recognition program. It shows you that you're moving your business forward. With Success Club, you want to be helping at least 3 people every single month get started on a challenge pack. That's our all-access Beachbody on-demand challenge pack with Shakeology or with Performance. Every time you help somebody get on either a challenge pack or a Shakeology home direct order where it's coming automatically every single month, you're going to get 2 Success Club points. So you do the math. If you help 3 people, you hit Success Club 6. If you want to build a business faster, you're going to set a higher bar for yourself. So you might be shooting for Success Club 10, helping 5 customers a month, or Success Club 20, where you're helping 10 customers a month. Top producers this week. This is our personal volume board. You'll hear a lot of abbreviations for things like SC stands for Success Club and PV stands for personal volume. What personal volume is anything that you buy from the Beachbody store and anything that your customers buy from you from the Beachbody store. So everything you purchase from Shakeology to All Access to anything has what's called a personal volume amount. It's like a number amount. And you want to make sure that as a coach, you are active every month with at least 50 personal volume points at the very, very minimum. So again, you can get that from orders you put in yourself. You can get that from things that your customers order from you. If you're shooting to qualify for Success Club, you want to make sure that you have 90 PV every month. And 90 PV is simply getting your Shakeology order. So that's easy enough because most of us are always drinking Shakeology. So our top coach this past week, our top producer was Moira Casabra with 1,238 personal volume points. Congratulations. That shows that she's got great customer service, great customer retention, and that she's really building her business and helping a lot of people. And you all know that Moira is. She is one of the top 10 coaches in our entire network. She's only been coaching now for 2 years. She has an amazing team, Together Rising. And the women that are speaking tonight are from her team. So I'm really excited to share that. She'll also be speaking at Leadership. Beachbody puts on many events throughout the year, but in my opinion, the best event is the Elite Leadership event, which she has earned and is coming to in a week. We're going to be there, and she's going to be speaking. She's been asked to speak to the 200 elite leaders of Beachbody. Like, what a huge prestigious award. I cannot tell you how proud of her I am. I know her entire team is super proud of her, and all of you are. So those of you in the 600 Club, Hannah Roberts, Margaret Schwenke. Those of you in the 400 Club, Aaron Kirkpatrick, Christy Whitaker, Susan Doyle, Aaron Hopkins, Maggie Marlowe. 300 Club, Bethany Brodigan, Kristen Copeland, Courtney Brady, Jasmine Jonty. I left the E off, sorry, babe. Jesse Maher, Courtney Burton, Cece Davis, Jolie McLeod, and Megan Siebel. Congratulations, you guys. We had some great rank advancements this week to Emerald. Emerald is your first true rank advancement in the business. It shows that you're paying it forward and helping other people not only get the opportunity to get discounts on their Shakeology like you get, but they have the opportunity to earn their Shakeology for free, to earn a supplemental income. And in my opinion, even better than that, they have an opportunity to be in our coach network and part of our coach community, which really helps people stay long-term committed to their goals and meet other people that push them further along to level up in their life. So congratulations to you, Quincy, and to Jenna. Congratulations. You now are earning a $14 cycle bonus in addition to your 25 to 40% commission. So that's pretty awesome. And you can get company generated leads. If you're in Success Club, Andrew and Emerald Coach, Beachbody is going to start sending you people that ordered on Beachbody and people that ordered from other streams and didn't have a coach. So it's pretty cool. You get free customers. And to our newest Diamond Coach, Sarah Beaver. Super excited for you, Sarah. She's now leading a nice little team. She's got multiple coaches. She's got some leaders building on her team that are Emerald, and she's now getting an $18 cycle bonus. So not only has she paid it forward, helped others get started the way that she has, but she also gave herself a raise in the process. So that's pretty awesome. We have a month 2 success starter who is Carrie Crowther. Congratulations to you. Just one more month in Success Club, and you're going to earn your ticket to Coach Summit 2018. So that's exactly what I'm talking about tonight. The girls that are speaking tonight are actually Success Starters. Success Starters is one of the first recognition programs where you can earn a trip right away as a brand new coach. So to become a Success Starter, you need to get in Success Club either the first month you enroll as a coach or the month following when you enrolled as a coach, and then you need to replicate that for 2 more months in a row. For example, today is October 24th. If you enrolled as a coach today, you would have till the end of this month and all of November to hit Success Club. If you hit Success Club either in this month, you would need to replicate it in November and in December. And if you hit it next month in November, you would replicate it in December and January. And you're going to earn a free ticket to Coach Summit 2018, which is our largest coaching event of the year. We work out live with the trainers. We get top-notch keynote speakers. We get training from all the best coaches. You get to hang out with the team. It is seriously so much fun. Tickets are a few $100s, so I highly recommend that you earn them on your own if you can. And if not, just go ahead and make the investment because you don't want to miss this event. So while I was talking, hopefully you had some time to read through some of these must-knows, but if you're on the phone, you may have missed that. Basically, all you need to do is head over to your Coach Online office and read the breaking news in your Q. Q is an abbreviation for Coach Online Office. When you read the breaking news, it's going to fill you in on all the things that are happening now. The only things that won't be listed in there are certain things we're doing just for the team, like the income and volume training that's happening now. I should have pulled down that push to Diamond Star groups next week. I didn't have a lot of interest in that. So I am going to do at least one group independently. So I have a thread going on the team page. If you missed it, go back and find it. You can post what your rank goal is. And if we have a push group for you, then I'll add you to it. Learn about the November to Remember event that's happening. You have until November 6th to sign up and team up with someone to give back to a charity and earn cash and prizes. And also, I've been telling everybody they have to advance to 1-star by November 16th and hold it to get to New Leader Conference. But the reality is you really need to wake up on November 23rd as a 1-star diamond and hold it for the rest of the year. I just wanted to give you guys a little leg up on things because I know when it comes into quals, it gets really, really hard. Become a team leader by the end of the year. You're going to join us on the team leader retreat. Advance to diamond by the end of the year. You're going to have an opportunity to go on one of our diamond retreats. Things to know that are happening on Beachbody On Demand. A Little Bit Obsessed is going to come out the week of November 6th. They're going to be shot live. They're about 30-minute segments. And so there'll be, I don't know if there's going to be 4 or 5 workouts, but there'll be one up per day every day that week of November 6th. So be ready to do that. You might want to put a fun little group together. I think that those are inside the paywall, but I could be wrong, meaning like how Clean Week, you only have to have a free membership, but I believe with the Little Bit Obsessed, they're going to have to put a credit card in and apply for the 2-week trial to get the quarterly or apply for a full membership. And then also December, I want to say the week of the 20th, they're going to do another A Little Bit Obsessed. They'll probably replay those 4 workouts, and then it's coming out on January 15th. Okay, so all of that said, all that housekeeping said, I really want to spend the rest of this evening focusing on great tips to help you guys move your business forward. So tonight we have 2 coach spotlights happening, 2 coaches who hit success starters. That means that they have achieved Success Club in their first, their second, and their third months of opening their business. They've only been coaching now for 3 or 4 months, and they are truly rocking it. So both Kristen Zalesnik and Katie Ashley are busy women. They are moms. They both work already, so they are building this on the side. I know they both have some really great aspirations, but I want to give them the opportunity to truly introduce themselves and tell a little bit about your, how you found your coach, how you got started, what helped you get your wheels wet. So go ahead, Kristen, and unmute your mic, introduce yourself, and take it away.
Hey, everybody. Can you hear me okay? Okay, great. This is very exciting. When I started my coaching journey, I remember being on this call and just being in awe of everybody. So it's really exciting to be speaking to everyone tonight. So I appreciate you letting me be here. Like Meredith said, I'm a full-time working mother of 2. I have 9-year-old boy-girl twins, and they have crazy busy sports schedules. So this program has just been the answer to my prayers, honestly. And so fun fact, I actually grew up in Spartanburg, and I knew Brian Casaba, Mora's husband. So little backstory to how I came to the team. Last October, I purchased 21 Day Fix Extreme DVDs and the meal portioning system. And I've always been an advocate of working out and fitness, but I've never been able to dial my nutrition back in like I was in my younger days. So I was struggling with the being 15 pounds overweight, 15 to 20 pounds overweight. And my sister came to me and she said, "You've got to see Mauro Casaba's abs," because I wasn't on Facebook at the time. So I was like, okay, show me. So she showed me and I was like, oh my gosh, I got to reach out to her. Like light bulb, I got to do what she's doing. So come to find out, she was doing the Beachbody, but she was doing everything, which I wasn't doing. So she said, come join my challenge, psychology, and let's see where it gets you. So I did, but there was something that was still missing. So I did 2 challenges with her, and I still wasn't quite where I needed to be. So she said, you need to become a coach. You need to hold yourself to the utmost accountability. So I was scared to death, but she said, look at it this way. If things don't work out, then at least you're in amazing shape and you're taking care of yourself. So on June 5th, I joined coaching. I was not on Facebook except to join her challenge. So, social media and all that stuff just scared me to death. So I thought, where in the world am I going to start? So my first day, I told everybody that I was starting a 30-day challenge for myself. So every day I posted about my transformation. Each week I would show before and after pics, and that was the scariest thing I've ever done. I mean, I've never even posted a picture of my child on Facebook, and then here I am posting my abs, which do not look good at all. So the one thing I learned about that is to be vulnerable. You know, people are struggling themselves, and when they see you be vulnerable too, they can connect to you. So so from day 1 to day 30, I lost about 17 pounds, and I was able to show a great transformation, and that in itself really inspired people to start contacting me. But at that same time, I also started inviting my close friends, and I used the memory jogger to write down just everybody that I could think of, and send out an invite to them. I immediately started attending as many calls as I could, and I started making the National Wake Up Call a non-negotiable, because I really feel like that just sets the tone for the week. I started out using the business activity tracker, but I now have upgraded to the jogger tracker. I'm not quite to the runner. I'm not sure if everybody is familiar with that. Meredith, I don't know if you want to speak to that at some point. And as far as how many hours I work, you know, it just depends. I do work 40 full hours a week. I try to devote probably 30 minutes to an hour each day. And I try to work an hour on my regular job, and then from 9 to 10, I try to invite. And then at night, you know, when I'm just relaxing or watching TV, I'll sit there and add people to my network. That's very important, I believe, because people are constantly, you know, looking for ways to feel better about themselves and to get fit. And social media is a great way to reach out to people. Let's see what else I had to say. As far as social media posts, I will say that I'm constantly trying to learn to be better about that. You know, for the first couple of months, it was very workout and sweaty selfie heavy. But I've learned that, you know, people really do need more value. So I've tried to post about recipes that I really enjoy, or trying to reach out to moms that, you know, are looking for things that they can fix for themselves, but also can change it in a way to fix for their families. I do a Thought Thursday, a Transformation Tuesday, and then on the weekends I really focus heavy on showing them about more of my life as far as my hobbies and my family. And the 5 takeaways I would probably say that I've learned these past several months is that be a product of the product. When I'm doing the things that I need to be doing and I'm feeling my best, it shows everywhere. It shows in my inviting, it shows in my family. So that's number 1 for me. Always add to your network. Like I said, people are constantly looking for ways to get fit and to feel better about themselves. And when you're telling them about your struggles, they're going to connect to you, and they're going to want to know what you're doing to feel better. Curiosity marketing. Don't just throw out names such as Shakeology and Beachbody. You know, people can Google that and they can go order it from Amazon or wherever. So, you know, let them lead into what you're doing. Be consistent, post every day. You know, Facebook is flooded with all kinds of, you know, different advertisements. So you want to show up every day for everyone. And lastly, I would say participate on the calls and write down tips and try them. You know, what I've learned is you've got to be teachable, but you've also got to learn as you go, because I still don't know what the heck I'm doing, but, you know, I think as long as you're trying and you're trying to learn more about it, that you're going to improve. That's it in a nutshell.
That's awesome. Those are killer tips. Thank you so much for sharing that. Everything that you said, including the last 5 like heavy tips that you have, those are exactly the things I did when I started my business. And honestly, they're the things that I still do, and it really sums up a lot of what we do in our vital behaviors too. Like adding to your network is a part of inviting, it's forming a relationship and connecting. And absolutely being a product of the product, you guys. If this is why I always tell people when they get started as a coach, like don't put the business before your personal journey. You can do them at the same time, but don't try to like get your coaching business up and off the ground until you are already started on your challenge. You are feeling what these workouts are like. You're feeling what Shakeology is like in your body. You can certainly send out an invitation to your girlfriends and say, hey, I'm about to start this thing. Will you do it with me? But until you are really immersing yourself and fully taking your challenge, you just don't have that same vivaciousness to want to pull other people on that ride with you. And even when you're doing it, not as a coach, but you're just doing it, it's like you have to be a coach. As you guys know, it's like you have to be in a leader role sometimes to actually show up for yourself because you're actually showing up for others. So many amazing tips. Thank you so much for sharing. Before we do any Q&A, you guys, that's Kristen. So if you guys have any Q&A specifically for Kristen, you can write down your questions, and at the end we'll do some Q&A. And then for right now, let's turn it over to Katie. If you're on the line, will you go ahead and unmute your mic and introduce yourself as well?
Hi, is that working?
It's working. Just speak up a little bit.
Okay, cool. I usually have my podcast mic, but I'm using this one. So I'm Katie. Hi, everybody. And so I'm super excited to be here. I don't always get on this call because I often fall asleep putting my son to bed and sleep right through it. So I'm excited to be here today. I ended up on the team after reaching out to Moira to be a guest on my podcast. And I had known of Moira through the Pilates teaching community here in Charleston. And we had sort of like circled in the same world for a really long time, but didn't really know each other in person at all. And but I had seen kind of what she was doing online. And before I started all of this, what I do now, I'm a integrative yoga and movement therapy based mentor, which is kind of like a combo of yoga, private yoga lessons, life coaching, and mindfulness mentoring. And so before I started doing that, I was a personal trainer and I managed nutrition stores, and I was a dancer. And at that time, a lot of the people that I knew from that world have become Beachbody coaches over time. And I would see them on Facebook posting a lot of like cleanses or lose 10 pounds like super, super fast, like tons of Shakeology, tons of Beachbody, like very much branding Beachbody itself. And I was like 100% turned off, like not interested at all. And to the point where I was like, I would never, ever, 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 ever do that. And then, but I kept seeing Moira, and I was really fascinated about her journey. And I was like, how is it that first, like, I knew she had a Pilates business, and I knew she had these juice businesses. And to me, they looked like they were super successful. And I was like, how, like, curious, like, why leave that to move into coaching? And then what was she even doing? Because it looked like she was doing a lot of what I was trying to do, which was work with movement, nutrition, and mindset to really help people create freedom. And I was not successful, like not at all. Like I've been in business for 6 years, wrote a book, had a podcast, but like buying groceries is a big struggle. And that seemed really just ridiculous. Like why put in so much time and so much money and end up like no better than I was when I was, dancing and choreographing. And so I was just kind of fascinated. And my podcast is all about creating freedom in your own life and creating freedom in the lives of others. And so I interview people that are doing that. So I asked Moira if I could interview her, and she said yes. And we had this amazing conversation that you can listen to. It's on the podcast, but it was so, so good. And in it, I just had all of these like light bulb moments, and these little like firecrackers were going off in my brain. And I was like, I can't believe this conversation, and that it was like not at all what I thought it was going to be. Like, no way in going into that conversation did I think that I would be calling her a couple days later and being like, please, 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 can I join your team? But that's what happened. And so I called her, I signed up. It was the end of August, and I decided to sign up just as a challenger for myself, and then also for my partner, because obviously he owns his own business too. He's a massage therapist and an artist. And so like the combo of us both having dollar per hour businesses, mine not being very successful, has been really stressful. And it's been stressful on us as a couple. And we have a 5-year-old. So it's like all the things that could be stressful were kind of happening at the same time. And so seeing Moira and seeing Erin, who's on the team, and seeing Jolie like work out with their partners. And I still didn't really know them yet. Like, I just knew them on Facebook. And I was like, okay, like if nothing else happens from this, me having something just for me that is not me creating the workouts and me creating the plan, and me doing something with Brian that's for us, if like nothing else than that comes from this, I already owe Brian a bunch of money. So me not giving him $160 this month is like, cool. Like that'll be fine. And so I did it, and I got started on the challenge for just a couple weeks. And that was, it like tied in right to when our son was out of school for a week, for like a teacher work week between summer and regular school. And so during that week, I went to Ohio where my parents live. And I was like doing my workout, and I was sending a picture just to Brian, and he was sending a picture just to me, like from South Carolina. And it was this really awesome way to like stay super connected even when we were traveling, which is awesome because it was like more connected than we'd even really been in all of the stress. And then my dad was there, obviously, because I was visiting him, and he was like, what are you doing? And like, this is so fun. And my son was like climbing on me the whole time I was doing it, but it was like really fun. And so my dad asked me if he could sign up. And so I was like texting Moira, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. Like, how do I sign him up? Because I don't even know. And she like helped me get him signed up. And then I got back, and the very next day, one of my longtime students asked if she could join, because she was just in our regular session. She was like, I really want to find something I can do at home because I'm not making it to class. And I just sort of shared what I was doing. She was like, well, I want to do it. And so then I was like, okay, well, I've got 2 people already. And now I really just need one more person. And if I can get one more person in the next like 2 or 3 days, then I'll make Success Club on my first month. And I felt like, since it was already a family member and a close friend, that it doesn't probably get easier than that. And so it made sense to like really try to get another person that month, because then I'd be like ready to go. And so I did. And from then on, I was kind of like, well, why do this halfway? Because it's like clearly working. And even with just having like 3 challengers come on board, I was already making more per month than I make from my book, because I make like a couple dollars on each book sale. And it's really annoying because all the money gets like tied up in Amazon until you reach a certain level before they'll like release your check. And so this like $100 just sort of sits there forever. I'm like, please release it. And so once that started happening, I was like, all right, this feels like an absolutely ideal platform for my business. And I can really bring in all the things that I have been trained to do, that I've been trying to do for so long, like literally a decade and a half of trainings and 6 years of trying to build my business. Like, it started to feel like, well, why create the wheel if this is already amazing and I can use this super strong platform and then just like add more value to it without a tremendous cost to me. Where all I'm buying are the things that I'm using anyway, and that not only am I benefiting and my students are benefiting and my partner's benefiting and my family's benefiting, like basically everyone's benefiting, and it's already financially working. Even though it's really small, that small amount has been like massive change in my life already. So I decided that like in doing that, I needed a system, because I was like, well, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to like really do it and make all of the goals that I can make as quickly as I can make them. And so I started inviting a lot and kind of created my own system where just on a piece of notebook paper, I have these like, it's just like right here. It's just literally notebook paper. And I want to have always 108 like active conversations going. And so I just keep track of like, okay, this person I'm talking to, this is what I've talked to them about, and where we are in that conversation. So like, did I invite them to a challenge? Did they ask me to check back later? Did I invite them to be a coach? Like where are we at? And then if it moves to check back like way later, like, you know, I'm about to have a baby and check back in a couple of months kind of later, then I just move them off the list and fill new people in. And so that's been working pretty well. I have a dream team list that I'm like super, super active, and there's, let's see, it's like a full page of people. And so like, what's that, 26 people? And those people I've been like super active with talking about and talking to, and kind of brainstorming how I feel like, I guess I'm going in two different ways. So some people that I feel like are a lot like me, that whether it's a fitness related business or not, but just the community and how taking care of yourself will fuel your own business, regardless of what your own business is. Those people. And then also people that need extra accountability, are people that are just like good friends of mine that I think would be awesome, or are those like cheerleader friends in your life. You know, like you have the people that just are in your life and it doesn't really matter what you do, whether it's like a charity or whatever the thing is, and they're like, yay, everyone join this thing, or like they always share posts. Those people are on my dream team too, even if they have like not very much interest in health or fitness. I feel like they will once they get started and get into the community. So yeah, I think one thing that's been really interesting for me coming from having an existing business is that until I started doing this and having goals of like how many people I want to reach out to each week, I pretty much sucked at selling and like even inviting anyone to hire me for anything or buy my book or listen to my podcast. I was doing a lot of, here's all this super valuable information, I sure hope somebody hires me for something. It was pretty much how the business was going, and probably why it wasn't working. So this has been kind of like selling boot camp. Which is cool because it's gone already just in this short period of time from super, super uncomfortable to kind of finding a groove with it. And if after you send out enough kind of like, I have no idea if you're going to care about this messages, and then get amazing responses, it starts to get a lot easier to send out those like, I have no idea if you're going to care about this messages. And just as we started this call, one of those people who I literally texted her and was like, hey, I don't know if you're at all interested in this, but here, I thought about you for this specific reason. And it was a hip pain that she had happened to tell me about at our son's, sometime that our sons were hanging out. And I texted her and told her about the workouts. And she was like, that seems like exactly what I need. I'm on board. She signed up that day. And then she's been a super active challenger. And I just checked in with her today, And she was like, thank you so much. I'm 100% pain free on my drives. I don't know why I haven't been doing this. Like a million thank yous. And it was a complete coincidence in reaching out to her. But like those instances have been becoming more frequent. So yeah, I think so. My 5 takeaways are: one, I totally 100% agree with like your practice being the primary thing. When I'm in the flow of my own life, that's when things are just better. My business works better. I'm better. Everything's better. The second is illustrating that same point. Like you never know who needs this, so just ask. Number 3, growth comes in discomfort. So, and that's when ease comes too, like once you get through that discomfort piece. Number 4, so create your own system. My system with like dots that mean different things and stars that mean different things and like circles around the dots that mean different things might drive somebody completely insane, but I totally get what it is. And so it works for me. And then what's the point of doing it halfway? Like, why? Like if there's an opportunity to go all in and like change a ton of lives and change your life, like why not do it? And that's it. That's what I've got.
Oh my gosh, so much amazing stuff. So 2 things. One, I actually listened to that podcast. So it was probably before you were even a coach, because Moira shared it on her page. And if you would be so kind as to put a link for it in the Soul Warriors Good Vibe Tribe page, like that would be awesome, because I love,
sure.
I think a big, and I get this from you, you know, as you speak, like a big part of this business is posturing, right? Like you were saying, Moira seems so successful already. So I was wondering like what she was doing. It's like she carries that posture of success. And so, you know, when you have that, and you're talking, and she's really good about branding it for herself as well, and not dropping like Beachbody this, Shakeology that, you know, where it was like you would be scared of it. And in that podcast, she does such a great job at talking about it as exactly the way you talk about it, about how she's helping people, and more or less makes it sound like some sort of life coaching and fitness and health, but it's not branded via Beachbody. I can't remember if she even says Beachbody in there or not, but the way she says it, it's so eloquent. So I would love for you to share it. And for anyone that wants to listen to it, I think you'll learn a lot about posturing, about how you can talk about your business without talking about Beachbody. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you was, you know, you had said when you first were building, essentially, you reached out to one of your students. Your students had asked you about what it was that you were doing. And this is where I want to dig in a little bit, because I hear this a lot where people start to like, oh yeah, I'm doing this 21-day challenge or something. And someone goes, oh, what are you doing? I want to do it too. And it's almost like a record scratch, because all of a sudden you don't know what to say, because you're like, well, on one hand, I don't want to sell something, and I don't know if I should just word vomit Beachbody 21-day fix, or like how I should go about explaining what I do. So can I ask you, when you had that conversation with her, how did you explain to her what it was that you were doing or what she would be doing?
Yeah, so she asked me about, she was just talking about her and her boyfriend and their like different fitness needs. And so he really likes to go to the gym and like work out super hard after work. And she has a really demanding job in the hospital. And so when she gets home from work, she's more like chill, like restorative yoga, take a bath, like read a book. She doesn't want to go to the gym. And so I was like, you know, like Brian and I have pretty different workouts, like ideals as well. And we're just in different places, especially since my having Isaac. And so I was like, I just started this new thing that we're actually loving together, and it's pretty cool because we can do different workouts but still like be on board together, you know, if we want to sub something out. And then I was just super, super honest. And I was like, because I really make it a point to not share anything that I haven't really processed myself yet with any of my yoga therapy students, and this is what she was. And so I just was super honest and was like, I totally have no experience in this at all yet. Like, it's very, very new. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, but I'm super dedicated to learning. And I'm a really big believer in, the yoga term would be Shraddha, so like faith based on experience. And I was like, and I like am totally having faith in this. It's already working. It's working for people that I actually know. So, I don't 100% know, but, just trust me on this. Like, we'll see together. We'll see how it goes. And she was super receptive to it. I think had I just like made it up, it would have been not at all. And she's still a coach. Like, she's awesome. And even though she's not building her team, she's like, I'm going to be ready. I'm going to be ready. And so, yeah, it was honesty, I think, is always a good plan.
Totally. And listening, right? Like, one of the things I'm hearing from you is like, you're not selling a product. You're not moving something. You're literally saying, like, listening to like what's wrong with people, where is the pain point is the word I should be using. Like, where is the pain point? What's not working? And then you're doing the feel, felt, found, which I can totally feel you. I felt this way. This is what me and my husband are doing. This is what's working for us. And from a place of honesty, like, and I was the same when I got started. It's like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just getting started, but I'm having so much fun. And people want to be part of something that's fun, something that's healthy, and something that you're doing. Because ultimately, and I had this conversation with a new coach of mine earlier today, people are not buying a Beachbody On Demand Challenge pack. They're buying you. They trust you. They want to know what you're doing. They want to know what you love. They want to know the behind the scenes thing with, Katie or whoever, is listening. They want your thing. So just be willing to be open with what you're doing. And that's how you're going to connect people to the solution that's right for them, instead of trying to sell them a product. So, okay. So before I turn it over to Q&A, and I'll start with you, Katie, since you're on, and then I'm going to ask Kristen the same thing. So Kristen, you actually have a moment to think about your answer. But I'm curious about what your invitation process might look like. So I think this is another area where people get stuck. So sometimes they go through their first list, like you had the sacred number 108. I'm sure that's why you picked that number. So I get that. I know not everybody gets that. But you have your certain number that you're reaching out to, and likely, like we all do, we start from our warm market, and some of those invites are a little bit easier. Some of them with the really close girlfriends or like your dad or anyone, it could just be like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm doing. Will you do it too? And then some of them are more just like, hey, how you doing? Getting comfortable with the person again, and just showing up on social media so they kind of see that you're doing something, so a conversation can happen. But when you're reaching outside of, let's say, your very warm market, what do some of those invitations look like for you? And even when you're within your warm market, like to your good friends, like how does that conversation come up for you?
Yeah, I would say with the like outside of my warm market, that's been really fun. It's been really fun to like go into different Facebook groups or connect with people on Instagram, and just offer things. Like if people say, hey, I'm really struggling with, anything that I resonate with, so the other day there was somebody that was struggling with feeling strong again after having an emergency C-section. And I was like, hey, like I had an emergency C-section too. And even knowing all the things I know and like literally having training and rebuilding the pelvic floor, like it wasn't happening for me. And then when I started doing these workouts, my strength, it was like in 2 weeks, it was insane the amount of change that happened. And so when I see something that I resonate with, I just say like, hey, just like you said, like I 100% like feel you, like I've been there. And then, the most random thing just happened and I've started this new way of doing things and it's really working. So like, would you be interested in learning more about that? And then either they say yes or they say no, but letting the no's kind of just like roll off, but then also knowing, keeping that person, like I continue to let that count as a conversation versus just being like, nope, they're not interested. And because they might be eventually, or they may, I figure we're still friends on Facebook. And so if I keep popping in to say hi, and then they'll continue to see me being stronger and like, you know, not freaking out when I try to go surfing and feel like super weak. And I think that'll just be good. So that's been the main thing, is like looking for things that I resonate and then trying to be of service however I can be, and just help from the get-go, and not necessarily. One of the things I think people have always come to me for is to connect them to other people. And so whenever I do try to be of service, I don't try to be like, I'm the only person that can help you with this, but be like, here's a lot of different ways that you could find help, to be like actually truly helpful versus like salesy helpful.
So awesome. Thanks for sharing that. And, you know, one of the things I picked up too is like when you end your conversation, you're asking them like, would that be something that benefits you? Or would that, there was a question there. Like I often use, you know, would you be open to trying something different? So once I find out like, hey, this woman does strength training all the time, but she's doing that at the gym, I can easily say, would you be open to trying something different where you would still do strength training, but you wouldn't be at the gym? And that way you're ending your conversation in a question, and you're refraining from word vomiting everything that you feel, and like surrendering the like, let me know either way. Like, no, the let me know either way is not going to happen, or the like, let me know, that doesn't happen. Like it's end with a question so they feel like they're invested to give you a response. And thank you for that. And Kristen, I have the same question for you then. Since you're doing so well and you're reaching out to so many people, what are those conversations looking like? What are the invitations look like? Especially if it's someone that's maybe not somebody you have spoken to very, you know, quite often. Are you just reaching out and saying, hi, how are you, and reconnecting there? Or how do you transition that conversation into an invite? And just make sure you unmute your mic before you answer that.
Light some of my posts. I definitely try to personalize the invitation. I usually do it through Facebook Messenger. So, you know, I'll kind of look through their page and get up to date with anything that they're doing, start the conversation, and be authentic, because I think that really shows through when you're inviting. And I basically just tell them about this amazing group of women that are in this challenge group, that are all, you know, have like-minded goals, and that we're trying to get to the best version of ourselves. And, you know, would you be interested in trying it out? I try to keep it pretty simple. And then, you know, I do get a lot of people don't respond at all. And then, you know, some people want, you know, tell me more. And then I've actually created a video that actually explains a little bit more in depth about what the challenge is. And I'll actually send that to them as well, because sometimes I feel like you can only say so much over, you know, typing and Facebook messages.
That's such a good idea, especially for those of you that have a full-time job and you're super busy and you only have a half an hour or an hour to dedicate to your business. If there's something that you can duplicate for yourself that you can send off to people, that's genius. And thank you for sharing that. And so, you know, you guys are going to hear a lot of no's and a lot of not right nows, but like Katie was saying, and like Kristen was basically saying, is those people are always going to be there. And the reality is, like, let's be real. Fitness and health is $1 billion industry because we all want to feel better. We all want to live better. We all want to be healthier. We all want to break bad habits. However, your priorities at this given time are not necessarily the priority of the individual you're reaching to. So you have to remember that when you're hearing a no or a not right now, you know, that was your priority, your agenda, that you reached out to someone to ask them for something, and they could have 100 things going on in their life right now where that does not even register. But in a couple months from now, when they have time to really focus on them, or they've made bad decisions for a while and they're like, I really need to catch up. If you've been showing up and you haven't been the salesperson that just invited once and disappeared, but maybe you followed up again and you reached out and said, hey, you know, I know I didn't hear from you last time. I know life is busy, but I just wanted to bump this message back up. You've been on my mind and heart. When people know you genuinely care, they're going to circle back, or they're at least going to watch you. And honestly, the way that Facebook and works with algorithms is if you're not talking to someone, if you're not over on their page, chatting with them, liking them, speaking in private messenger, your stuff isn't going to populate on their page. That's why you might have 200 friends on Facebook, but only see the same 20 people. And of those 20, half of them are probably coaches, because you're stalking your coach soul sisters all the time, right? Like, you got to be talking to other people, or they're not going to see what you're putting out either. Okay, so I want to open up if there's anybody on the team that has questions for these awesome women that are so forthright with what they're doing to bring them success. I would love for you guys to, you can either ask in the chat box, which I have open, or if you're comfortable with it too, you can unmute your mic and ask a question.
Me. What do you say in your video? How long is it? Like, how long is that?
Probably, I'd probably say like 3 or 4 minutes, I think. And I go through and try to show them the different aspects of what they will get within the challenge group.
And do you send that like on email or just over like Facebook Messenger?
Both. I've done both.
That's genius. I love it. It's so easy.
Well, I actually got the idea from Cece Davis. So she has a lot of great videos like that I've tried to replicate. So I can't take the I can't take the credit for it, but
you shared it with me. Cece kept that a secret, and next time I see her, I am getting on her. No secrets on the team.
That's awesome. And, also one of the things I've heard you say twice now is really like, you lead with the community. Like, you tell these women, like, whatever it is that you're doing, like all these other women that are doing it with them. And I think that that's probably one of the biggest pieces that we have that nobody else has, right? Like, everybody can do fitness, everybody can do nutrition, but doing it solo is hard. It is really hard. And so we have that total solution where you get a coach, you get a community, you get everything in place. Who else has a question?
I just put it in the chat, but I'll ask. So when people ask, what program is this? What are your responses to that?
Can I chime in for a second? I feel like there's lots of ways around saying what company we work with, but in the end, they're going to know what company we work with. And so I'm usually very straightforward. If somebody asks me the straightforward question, I give them the straightforward answer, and then just wait and see what they have to say about it. If they have a bad feeling about it, then I can work them through that. Some people, they don't even really know what it is, so it's not a big deal at all, That's just my 2 cents.
I love that you shared that too, Courtney, because I think there is I know a handful of us came in. I actually had owned like every Beachbody program pretty much under the sun when I reached out to Amy, but I still was like, oh no, I don't want to do Beachbody. And it had nothing to do with any ill will against coaches. I didn't even know, like, I had never seen coaches promoting or anything like that. It just had to do with, I was looking to brand myself, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to do something with another brand. I didn't see the correlation at the time. But I think that there are other people who have expressed to me like, oh, I saw this girl marketing this way. It's not what I want to do. But it's weird because, it's really such a small percentage of people that have had any sort of, I don't even want to say bad blood or a bad experience or just like doubt around it, that we always immediately go to that skepticism mindset. And we always prejudge that if somebody asks me what program this is, that immediately if I say 21 Day Fix, they're going to be like, oh, it's Beachbody, I'm out. But it's like 21 Day Fix is one of the best selling programs ever. And you look at the programs that people are following now. And the reality is, if somebody is following, like, I'm a Instagram hoe and I follow all the Fitspo girls. And so I know there's BBG and I know there's FGG and I know there's like 2B pound, 2B something, something. Like everybody has a program. There's a zillion programs. So one is not necessarily better or worse than the other. They're all just different. And so I can validate, like if somebody wants to ask me what it is, I can absolutely say that. Or if you're doing something unique, like say you're doing a freemium that's not, I mean, you're using Beachbody workouts, but it's your unique thing. You can always say, this is my own program and I'm using Beachbody workouts with it. Like I do a lot of my own ebooks. And if somebody says, what program is that? I'll say, that's my BPTN plan, or that's my 10-day hustle plan. So I'll talk about that. And then when we actually start to talk about what it means, then I can talk about plant-based nutrition. Then I can talk about intermittent fasting. Then I can talk about the workouts that we do with it. So it's a little bit of both.
I'll hop in here for a second because I totally agree. Like I am Erin Hopkins Health and Fitness, and I use Beachbody products as tools, but it's me that they're getting. And I feel like that's so important. So because I come at it like that, I don't have a problem saying, oh, I use Portion Fix. It's the most genius, well-balanced program ever. I know I've done them all, and it's the best that's out there. I feel so, I mean, and I was a Beachbody hater, so I feel like I'm good at speaking to this because, I mean, and I talk about that, like, oh my gosh, I was a skeptic too, like at-home workouts, are you kidding me? 30 minutes, are you kidding me? But like, I'm in the best shape of my life, and so is everyone else I know. I've never seen results like this, and I've been in this industry for a really long time. That's all they need to hear is your take on it. If you just say, I'm with Beachbody, like, how are they going to react? And you're just waiting for them. But if it's all about how you present it. I mean, I was with a bunch of girlfriends the other night, and I was talking about how I'm a health and wellness coach, and it's so much fun because I get to do it online, and I'm reconnecting with people all over the place. And one of my best friends who was with me was like, why didn't you say you're with Beachbody? And I'm not ashamed of it or anything like that. I mean, I'm wearing a Beachbody jacket right now. But that is not, it is Erin Hopkins Health and Fitness, and I get to use the amazing tools that Beachbody gives me.
Amen to that. Exactly. Amen to that. And so I want to also address really quick, because Hazel asked in the chat box, she said, you know, many of my friends have tried it before and they have the containers and the videos. How do I get them excited about rejoining? She's really been pushing the community piece. And honestly, I think that's a great opportunity to do a free group, because they might have the containers and the videos, which might mean like they might have an old copy of 21 Day Fix, but have they ever been on Beachbody On Demand? Have they ever watched the Fixate cooking show, and have they watched the tutorials on how to food prep in there? Do they have access to all the 50 programs, the thousands of workouts that we have? Have they been able to have access to the yoga studio? Like all of those amazing things. So you could easily do a free challenge, get them started on a 14-day free trial. They already have the containers. They already have everything. And then you could be talking up the value of Shakeology in your challenge group, in your free group. So that's how I would really navigate if you're dealing with a bunch of people. Generally, most people aren't going to have a bunch of people like that. But if you even have one person and you've got a challenge group and you've got someone that says, hey, you know, I already have the program. I mean, that's Kristen already had the program. You know, she said that tonight on the call. So it's like you can either make it a requirement to get Shakeology to go in your group if you have a paid group only, or if you know that the person really needs help and they're just like, you're going to have a really hard time getting them to even start there. Like, be willing to help a person out and give them that ride and give them that gentle push and meet them where they're at. So I'm going to wrap it up there because it is getting late on the East Coast and we've done a full hour. I cannot thank our presenters enough tonight. You guys are amazing, and I cannot even begin to tell you how helpful this is. So thank you all for everybody that hopped on tonight and gave us time, and thank you to everybody who designated time to get on the call live. If you didn't see in the Soul Warriors Good Vibe Tribe page today, I had 4-star Wendy Bankenhead come in and do a live presentation to show you how she went from nightmare coach to a 4-star coach. She literally signed up in 2010 and was, quote unquote, she calls herself the nightmare coach for 3 years, while she did nothing but became the ask hole and asked all the questions and like constantly was bugging on her coach. And it wasn't until 3 years in that she made a decision to rock her business, and now she is soaring. So she's got so many great tips. Please go watch that in the team page today. Have a great day, you guys, a great night, you guys, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.